Today is an exciting day at the shop because we just got our first shipment of Rhino-Rack products in. Stick around to find out what we got. Welcome back to another video, guys. My name is Joey from MissionCustom, and today in front of me I have the 3-piece roof rack system from Rhino-Rack from my Jeep JK. Now this is going to include the backbone system as well as the 56 by 72 inch Pioneer platform and the RC locking leg kit. Without further ado, let's jump into the unboxing. So the main part of this backbone system is going to be the backbone itself. Now that is going to consist of 2 metal brackets that are going to go on either side of the rear window for both sides of your hardtop. So I'm just going to set these aside for now. And then this is the bottom part of the backbone system. This is going to mount just below the rear window. These are going to be your rear mounting points, so you have one for either end of the hardtop. Then you're also going to have 4 mounting plates like this that are going to sit on the sides of the hardtop as well. This kit is also going to come with 2 pads that are going to mount on the inside of your Jeep. They're going to go over these side brackets just to protect the metal and your hardtop from being damaged. And finally, we also have the bag full of the instructions and the mounting hardware. So you have everything you need to get this part of the kit installed on your Jeep. So in the Rhino-Rack backbone system for the Jeep, you're going to get 6 RC locking legs. This kit does come with a set of keys that you can use to lock and unlock the legs. This is made of a pretty durable plastic that is also super low profile. These legs are going to sit right on top of the mounting brackets for the backbone system. There are 2 little plastic tabs on here. For this installation, we're going to cut these tabs off. This should sit flush right on top of the mounting brackets. Now the Pioneer system itself is going to come with these super nice plastic corners. Now these come apart into 2 pieces. What this allows you to do is run wires through your roof rack system. So if you were running auxiliary lighting or you wanted surround lighting on your roof rack, you can run the wires through the corners and actually run them through on the inside of the Pioneer platform as well. One thing I wanted to point out is that this roof rack system is super light. It is made of a very strong powder-coated aluminum finish, which is going to hold up against any type of weather, and it's definitely not going to rust. When you're choosing a roof rack for your vehicle, it is best to go with a system that is super lightweight because it's just going to help keep weight down, and especially if you're putting on steel bumpers, steel fenders, and adding bigger tires and wheels. The last thing you want to need is a heavy roof rack on your car. So Rhino-Rack designed this very well. It's very slim and also super lightweight. Of course, this kit is also going to come with mounting hardware for the Rhino-Rack. And you have tons of the same nuts and bolts. So it is going to be a tedious process to put this together. We're going to go ahead and get started on that. When we were assembling the cross members along the rack, we noticed they were not supposed to be evenly spaced because the front, middle, and rear crossbars line up with their respective brackets on the hardtop, which I'll explain a little more in detail, but for now, we just kind of loosely tightened them down so that we could adjust them later, and we also added the RCL legs to the crossbars before mounting the platform on the backbone system. Alright guys, we finally finished the assembly on the Pioneer platform. I was actually surprised how long it took to assemble the Pioneer platform. With me and a friend, it took about 30 minutes to assemble. Now, there were some things that we messed up the first time. So the first tip I have for you guys is to assemble this Pioneer platform upside down. It is going to be a lot easier to tighten down the bolts that are in here. I also want to show you guys this tool that Rhino-Rack supplies in the kit. This is an 8mm torque wrench that you're going to use to tighten down the 70 nuts that go along the cross members here, and you're going to tighten down to about 6 pounds. You should hear a click. So these numbers on the side rails of the Pioneer platform are going to tell us where to position the crossbars. I didn't know this before, but there's actually a front and rear side of the platform. The crossbar closest to the rear is going to be tightened down at 76.5mm, the middle one to 10.4mm, and the front crossbar to -62.9mm. I'll leave a link in the description to the Pioneer fitment chart so you can take a look at it. So before we get started with installing the backbone system, I do want to mention to you guys that we are going to be drilling through the factory hardtop. Before we do that, I'm going to actually remove the hardtop because it's just going to be a lot easier to drill inside of there. You'll notice if you try to drill through the hardtop, you are going to run into the roll bar and also make a mess in the Jeep. So it's just going to be a whole lot easier to go ahead and take it off. Okay, so now that we got the hardtop off the Jeep, we can start unboxing our brackets. There's going to be 3 brackets on either side of the hardtop, both the driver and the passenger side. And these brackets are going to be specific to where you position them on the hardtop. So this bracket is going to go on the front. And you also have a bracket for the middle. And then the largest bracket here that says Rhino-Rack on the back is going to go on the rear of the hardtop. The kit did come with a template and instructions, but for now we're just going to line up the holes and position them on the hardtop, and then we're going to use a silver Sharpie to mark where the holes are, and then we'll start the drilling. Now I found that the easiest way to do this is to take the inside bracket and line it up with this little notch here that's on the corner, and this bracket should sit flush up against that notch. So you can see if I slide it back and forth here, this is going to be at an angle, and so this angle of the bracket is going to match right up with the angle of the hardtop. And then we'll go ahead and mark that down with the Sharpie. So for the second bracket in the middle of the hardtop, what you're going to want to do is line it up flush right against this rain gutter here. You can go ahead and mark the middle holes in there as well. I tried to line up the brackets the best I could because I did not want to have to patch any mistakes after drilling through the hardtop. If you're doing this yourself and you accidentally misalign the holes, you can easily patch them with a fiberglass filler, but just try to do it right the first time. What I'm doing now is just placing these little foam pads on each bracket, which are included in the kit, to prevent direct contact with the hardtop so no annoying rattling occurs while I'm driving down the road, and they also protect the hardtop from being scratched. For now, we're going to take a break from the hardtop and we're going to assemble the backbone system. These are going to mount on either side of the rear window inside the hardtop. I believe these are the same exact brackets, so it doesn't matter if you use one for the right or the left. The bottom bracket is going to be driver and passenger specific, so on one side you're going to have 2 holes near the end, and then on the other side they're going to be a bit farther apart. The side with the 2 holes closest together are going to be closest to the rear, so you don't want to get that confused. And when you mount this up into the Jeep, you should be able to see the Rhino-Rack logo from the inside. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this assembled. I'm just going to loosely tighten these down for now, and then I'll fully tighten everything once it's mounted in the hardtop. Once we have the outside brackets mounted on the hardtop, we're going to take the inside brackets here and mount them on the inside of the hardtop. Now, you want to keep in mind that this little bolt that's sticking out here is going to be facing away from the window. It should sit just like that on the hardtop, and then we're going to take our washer and nylock nut and tighten them down. Alright, now that we got the right side done, we can move on to the left side here. And like I said, we're just going to slide this on and loosely tighten it down because we're going to gonna bolt it down later on, but we just want to get this up so that we can mount the backbone system in here. For these front brackets here, what you're going to want to do is take the inside bracket, and then this also has a foam pad. The foam pad is going to go on the bottom here. This part is going to sit nice and flush on the inside. In this next step, we're going to attach this bracket to the factory roll bar, and the first thing we're going to want to do is unzip this protective cover. You want to be sure to expose these 3 bolts that are here. Nice thing about this bracket is once we take these 3 bolts off, we're just going to put this in place and then reinstall the same bolts. We can go ahead and zip this back up, make sure the Velcro is nice and tight. Tuck that underneath there. All right, and there you have it. Okay guys, once we have all of the brackets and the backbone system installed on our hardtop, we can go ahead and put the hardtop back on the Jeep. So I forgot to mention that on this back bracket here, there's actually going to be 3 screws. You're going to mount 2 screws in on the side, and then 1 screw is going to go in on the top. What we're going to do is unlock all of the RCL legs, and that way we can bolt in the RCL legs to the 6 brackets that are mounted to the hardtop. Believe it or not, this kit doesn't come with the screws to screw in the RCL legs to the backbone system. So what we're going to use is a 10mm screw with a lock washer and a regular washer. After several hours, we finally have gotten the roof rack installed on the Jeep. I'm not gonna lie, this was a pretty hard install, and I definitely underestimated the time it would take to get this on the Jeep. There were some issues that we ran into along the way. When we were trying to tighten the RCL legs to the Pioneer platform, it was a little hard to get in some of those tight spaces with the Allen wrench. So what we needed to do was put a 2x4 underneath the Pioneer platform so that we could get under there with an Allen wrench. That way we were able to tighten down the RCL legs, and that way we were able to line up the bottom of the legs with the brackets that sit on the hardtop. And once we had everything tightened down, we centered the roof rack on top of the Jeep. This roof rack itself weighs just under 70 pounds. Keep that in mind when you're searching for a roof rack. You don't want something that's going to be too heavy. It's going to hold anything that you can throw up there, especially with that backbone system. This has a static weight capacity of around 800 pounds. It also has a dynamic weight capacity when you're driving on road of 264 pounds. When you're driving off-road, this roof rack has a dynamic weight capacity of 176 pounds. So keep that in mind if you plan on installing this and taking it off-road. So now I'm going to take this on the road, check for wind noise. So thanks to the slim design of this roof rack, it actually limits the wind noise pretty well. And as I'm driving down some of these back roads, I can't notice any wind noise at all. When we get up to highway speeds, it'll probably be a little bit noisy. But right now we're driving at about 55 miles an hour, and I gotta tell you, I can't hear a single thing from that roof rack. Now, obviously there's nothing on top of the roof rack, but once we start putting accessories and different mounting options, it's probably gonna get a little noisy, but the rack itself is actually super quiet. So one of the questions I had was, can you take off the Freedom panels with the roof rack on the hardtop? And the short answer is yes. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. so there you have it. In less than 2 minutes, we have both of the Freedom panels taken off. I had to be careful a little bit around the back end because the Rhino-Rack Pioneer platform does overlap a little bit, but once again, it was no big deal. Thanks to its slim design, the Pioneer platform sits just about 4.5 inches off the hardtop and is only about 1 inch in thickness, which is great for minimizing wind noise and drag on the Jeep. Okay, so that concludes this unboxing and installation of the Pioneer platform and backbone system from Rhino-Rack. If you are interested in this product, I'll leave a link down below in the description. And if you want it installed on your Jeep, go ahead and send us an email, give us a call, or visit us at MissionCustomJeeps.com. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.